I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep Grand Cherokee brake. Okay. And I'm gonna show how to clean this, take it apart, put it back together, how to basically service it. If you see, for example, that your brakes, that they burn up your rotor, that kind of thing. And just let's take it apart quick and see what we can do there. So the bracket here is connected to your car with two large bolts. That's the only ones you have to remove. Take it off the car. The brake hose is in here, in this hole. Okay. The bleeder nipple is here. That can be removed with a M10 screw here. When you open this, you need to make sure that this thing is clean. That the holes are okay, that there's like air going through if you put air on it. So I do have here an air thing. Saw that went through. It's advisable to hold that hole away from your face when you blow air in it. Okay, so when you turn it around, you can have the brake fluid running out of this area. To get the brake pads out, you would remove this anti-rattle clip first. Like so. There it goes. I don't know how tight this is in your brake. It's probably super tight, but it has to go all the way up here. Take one brake pad out. Then this brake pad is clipped into the piston here with those clamps. Put this up here like this. And now by this time you can take those off. Okay. You can clean them. It depends on how dirty and corroded they are. So in my case they are not. You see here corrosion. That's not good. Those are glued in with red Loctite. If you have to take them out to clean them, I don't know if you want to do this, you don't have to. But if you take them out, you have to torque them on with the right torque and glue them on with the red Loctite. Okay. So those we put to the side, oops, here. And then we have here in the back those plugs to keep dirt from going in there. Okay, now if this goes in here too tight and doesn't move good, see this? So how easy is this to move back and forth, right? Very easy. And that's how it's supposed to be. If it is too tight and there is no corrosion on your pins, then there is corrosion in those holes. Let me show this to you quick. So I'm going to get one of those rubber boots out without destroying it. Man, they are often corroded in there, in the hole, because there is plain metal around it. Come on guys, come out. Now as soon as there is a little grease on there, it's more difficult. So there is often hard corrosion on here in this area, and there is often corrosion here in this hole. Okay, so you can use a Dremel and clean out all the dirt in here. Then you can put some grease on there. Here, this case of caliper grease. Put this in the hole. And then just to make this really slippery in there. Plug this thing back in. And so the most important part is, that those, when they go in here, that they are super loose in here, like this. See? That is your main problem on this. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the piston. You see this boot here, it looks like super perfect. There's a metal ring back here. And all this rubber thing, here is a metal ring. And you need to go in between here to open this up. Now, this is difficult without breaking it. There it goes, look at this. There we go, see that? Okay, so put that back. We are going to apply air here now through the bleeder hole, this hole, and this is the hole for the hose that we hold close. We also put a piece of wood in between here, and we have to be careful that we don't get our fingers in between here when we do this. So I hold it here and then very careful. Oh, there's my finger here. Did you hear that? Bam! That's how fast that sucker comes out. Okay. So, let's take it out and take a look at it. That's obviously plastic. Like a resin. The boot is on like this. And now we can take a look at this piston. What we are looking for is, in this direction, any scratches and stuff, or cracks. So if this thing is cracked, then there will go brake fluid through the crack on the outside and it will leak through here in the middle or underneath the boot. So you don't want that. If it leaks, it's bad. If it doesn't leak, it's good. It cannot corrode. The only place where you can have corrosion is in here. And then here we have this rubber seal, but we do not break. This seal cannot have any debris, scratches or anything around it here. So that has to be super, super clean. Getting this off, and then you do a visual. Or you buy this new. You can buy the piston, the boot and the ring as a kit. Look inside here. Check for corrosion in here. Dirt and corrosion. Clean that out. Get caliper grease in here. All the way around. Because we don't want corrosion here, right? That's why we have super, super thin, not too much, caliper grease on there. Then this one, still super clean, goes into this groove here without twisting. Okay, goes in there. Now I'm going to put some caliper grease on here a little bit to get the boot back on. Move this a few times. Very important that the boot doesn't have any cracks or no damage. Look at it, it's clean, nice, not damaged. Okay, now doesn't hurt to do some grease here. Look at the guy in there. If there's too much in there, the ring will push it out. Now we're putting the piston back in. This is possible with your fingers. You should be not forcing it too hard. Just wiggle it in. See how easy it goes in? If those holes are open here, right? What we're going to do is now we close this again here, that no dirt comes in. Here I have my bleeder. There it goes. Don't forget this stuff. Okay, so now I can put the boot back on here. Bottom in there. So this one goes in too easy, I would think. Should not be this easy, but it's the used one. It's the old one, right? See that you really put this back on here. See how it tries to come off? That's easier if you have a new boot. So if this comes off on its own, that would be a terrible problem. Because as soon as you get dirt behind it, you are in trouble. Now, to put this back together now, we want caliper grease on here, on those areas where the pads are contacting. That's where we want some of this grease. Like here on the corners. Now in my case I painted this good. Okay, so then here the sliding pins want grease. Look at this, how easy this is. And then we're sliding them back in here. Like this. Okay, now fingers are clean. Okay, if you want to loop this is a cheap brake pad. Cheap brake pad means it will rust. Get some of the lube on there. Here, this bracket would also most likely rust. Look at this. Get it in here, into the piston. Snap it in. There it is in. And then we can do the same here on this brake pad. Oh, that was quite a bit. Get our stuff up here. Okay. Yeah, and then we can add it here and here, wherever those contact surfaces are, right? And then you get your brake pad in here. Goes all the way back here. And then you have this anti-rattle clip. So here we can see that this is going back and forth easy. The rattle clip will make contact down here with those surfaces, right? Like a little grease on here and here. It's not fine. So we go in here, drag it up here. There. Put the rattle clip in all the way. So now we see it's still moving here. See, it's the rattle clip holding it back here. That's normal. And there should be enough space to get the brake disc in there. So now when you put this back together, you put this over the disc and then put those two screws in to hold it. Now, don't forget to put those caps back on to protect this from like water getting in there. Okay, and there you have your brake maintained. You should do this every time, once a year. You should get the grease on here, that those slider pins slide around good. Alright, so I hope that helped. Doesn't hurt to subscribe if you have Jeep repairs to do. That's how it goes. 15 minutes. One side.